What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Crypto For You. My name is Tony, and today I want to talk to you guys about Bitcoin and stock market. They are correlated, which is not a good thing, and Bitcoin is falling down. Where do I think Bitcoin could fall down to, and when could it stop, and what does the correlation of S&P 500 have to do with it? I want to talk about all that and more in this video, so let's get straight into the charts. So look at this. As you guys can see, Bitcoin is in fact falling down. It broke out of our huge channel that we were talking about, and that could take us all the way to $53,000. But instead of confirming support on the bottom, we broke through it and actually confirmed resistance. Now this small term pump is actually a fake pump. It is not true. We are actually confirming resistance on the 20-day moving average and this green bottom resistance line. Now, where do I think we're gonna go? Well, like I talked about in my previous video, I think we're gonna fall down to $33,000. Why? Well, because if we go on the weekly time frame, you guys can see this huge line right over here. It's called the 100-week moving average. It basically is a huge support level. That's why I think we're gonna fall down to 36, since we broke all the other previous support levels, like this red one, the 20-week moving average, or the smaller ones on the daily time frame. So 33,000 is our next target if we right now get rejected, which we probably will. But believe it or not, S&P 500 has something to do with Bitcoin's dump. Don't believe me? Well, look at this. If I go on the S&P 500 chart and I turn on Bitcoin and I overlap it on top of S&P 500, you guys can see that Bitcoin is the blue and orange and stocks are the red and green. And look how closely they match. And you guys can see even better that stocks actually move first. So when stocks go up, Bitcoin follows it. When stocks fall down, Bitcoin also follows it. It's not the other way around. Stocks are controlling and leading Bitcoin to their path. Now, why is this happening? Well, the reason this is happening is because stocks are huge. They're much bigger than the Bitcoin. And then most traders that trade stocks think that they're the same exact thing as Bitcoin, but it's not true. Bitcoin is on the blockchain. Stocks are not. Bitcoin is decentralized. Stocks are centralized. They have so many different things, technical things, fundamental things that make them completely different, and they should not be correlated together. But people think that they are the same thing and start to think in their mind that if one thing happens, then the other thing will also follow. And then when something happens on one of the charts, they do the same exact thing to the other charts, and they make the whole entire process repeat. They think that stocks are going to pump up. Well, since Bitcoin is of course correlated to stocks, it's going to pump up too. So they buy in both places, which makes other people believe that stocks and Bitcoin are correlated, which makes them do the same exact thing. It's a never-ending process that keeps repeating, but we have to stop, because if Bitcoin wants to be 100% decentralized and free from stock markets, it has to decouple from S&P 500. Right now, S&P 500 crashed and Bitcoin followed it. That means if S&P 500 keeps crashing, Bitcoin will continue to follow S&P 500. That's why I think it's important for Bitcoin to decouple from S&P 500 and to go on off its own. Not only Bitcoin, but the whole entire crypto market. It should decouple from stocks, because stocks are a very bad influence. They do not help. They are one much more stable, meaning that all the price action and all those dumps that happen are magnified on the crypto charts. So right now, what is happening with stocks and what could they do to Bitcoin? Well, if I hide Bitcoin and instead turn on the weekly moving average, you guys can see that we have recently broken the weekly moving average on stocks just a couple weeks ago. Now, Bitcoin broke its weekly moving average a long time ago, back in January. But did you know that the stocks breaking out to the downside of its EMA ribbon is a much bearish thing for Bitcoin than it itself breaking out of the EMA ribbon? How does that make sense? Well, that is because stocks are much bigger and they are correlated. Many people, like I said already, believe that they are the same exact thing. So since stocks break out, they go and sell the least thing, Bitcoin, for them, because right now people are more tied to physical things that they can trust, like companies like Apple, Tesla, or stuff like that have actual physical items and things they sell that they trust more than some kind of electronic thing. So what they would do is they would rather sell something that they trust less and use in their everyday lives, because they have lives too. And so the drop that happens in S&P 500 is magnified in Bitcoin, and that bearishness in S&P 500 is also magnified in Bitcoin, which explains why we were falling right now. That is because we broke below the EMA ribbon on the S&P 500. So what will happen to Bitcoin if it continues to follow S&P 500? Well, right now S&P 500 is looking very bearish, and so Bitcoin will also be being very bearish. I think personally that Bitcoin itself was looking bearish before, and it would fall down to 34,000 even before I saw this correlation with S&P 500. But this correlation makes it even stronger point to us that it's gonna fall down. And guys, the only way to save Bitcoin from falling down to 32 and after that to like 28 is for Bitcoin to either decouple from S&P 500 and rise above this huge support level, the channel, go back inside of it, or S&P 500 to rise up. And right now S&P 500 has nowhere enough strength to right now break back above its weekly EMA ribbon because it just recently broke above it. That's what this little tiny pump was right now. It was just a confirmation of resistance on the EMA ribbon. So guys, Bitcoin will be in fact falling down, and as long as we stay correlated with S&P 500 and as long as S&P 500 is bearish, we will in fact be falling down. It is very bad for Bitcoin to be correlated with stocks, guys. Remember that there are two separate things. And guys, remember that cheap Bitcoin is a good time to buy. Don't be scared that Bitcoin's falling down. Make it as a good opportunity to buy in. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to click that post notification bell. I'll see you guys next video. Bye!